is cold outside. Certainly the Dons hoping to warm things up along with the coach, Kent Mitchell. And coach, we got a team coming in red hot. Ball State's won 7 in a row. We got a big crowd. Time to bring it tonight.
Oh, definitely. The Dons have got to cool them off, and it'd be a great time for the Dons to start a run of their own.
Ball State leading the conference at 5-1. They've won 7 straight. Big question mark 1 week ago. Arnie Ball sits down a good majority of his starters. They got the message. They got it Saturday night. How do you expect them to come out tonight?
I think they'll come out real hungry. They'll play very aggressive, and I believe they'll get the job done. This is an interstate conference match. Means a lot. There'll be a lot of fans here tonight.
IPFW has won 4 of the last 5. They make it 5 of 6. You'll find out coming up live here from the Gates Center.
Excellence lives here in northeastern Indiana. It's reflected in more than 200 nationally recognized degrees. It drives our Division I sports. It's alive in our campus life. Excellence has a name, IPFW. Around our campus, around the country, around the world. Excellence lives here. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names. Life is good, but with a master's degree from IPFW, it could be even better. You could land a promotion, earn more money, become a leader in your field. And IPFW makes it easy. With affordable tuition, night and weekend classes, and more than 20 graduate programs from business to education to public affairs and more. Become the master of your future. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. Your graduate university.
And welcome back live to the Gates Center. We are ready to get underway in this one. The Dons against a red-hot team from Ball State. Of course, Arnie Ball's alma mater, so always a fun one for him as well. And 2 teams that certainly like to tangle, Coach, here on the volleyball court.
There's a lot of alumni in the building, previous players, and I'm sure it's going to be a fired-up situation for the coach. He wants to win this match pretty bad.
It's always a big game when you get Ball State coming in at 5-1. They've won 8 out of their last 9, 7 straight. They lead the conference. This is about as good a test as you can get right now in the season for IPFW.
And you know, IPFW's got to be feeling that, hey, this is the spot they should be in. They should be leading the conference.
When you look at their roster here, who do you see on this list that IPFW's got to shut down tonight?
I think actually they gotta get the setter in trouble. They gotta get him out of system.
Ball State starts it off. And over to Ulrich. And Ball State puts it away for a quick 1-0 lead. Not exactly the pass they'd want right there, and Ball State's got the early lead.
There's a little miscommunication with the setter in the middle.
They talked about intensity all week. Over the net, Ball State in control. A good save by Macias. And that one is long off the hands of Gasparovich, and suddenly we're tied at 1. They talked about all week, this is the intensity they want to see, and I think we'll know early on if they brought that intensity.
You know, IPFW is notorious for serving very aggressive, but they've got to serve aggressive and get that ball in. And that's not a good way to start there, Ryan.
Jason Yost with a big jump serve. It hits the net and goes wide, and it's back to Ball State. It's their freshman out of St. Louis to serve it up. That's called the floater. They'll go to Ulrich. He gets a solid hit for the kill as well. The bench is up on that one, tying the game up.
It was a good pass. It started with a good pass, great set, and a nice kill.
2-all. Brock Ulrich now back to serve for the Dons. Powerful jump serve controlled by the Cards. And that's the big hitter from the back. That is Todd Chamberlain, the junior swinger out of Louisville, Kentucky. 3-2, Ball State in control, ranked number 8 in one poll, number 9 in another poll, so a top 10 team here in Fort Wayne to take on the Dons.
Nice pass.
They'll go short side to Stewart, and he puts it away.
Yes.
Stewart, a little different hairdo than we saw him last week. Carrying a little less weight up to the net with the close shave. He'll be back to serve now. There's the floater, and it's into the net. Don't see that very often on the floater. It's relatively a safer serve.
You know, he got it a little too far out in front of him, couldn't get the distance that he needed, but it looked like they were trying to go short, maybe disrupt the offense of Ball State.
That is your starting lineup we just saw there for the Dons, and that one just misses as well. So already early in the game, and we've got a few service errors on each side.
Well, you know, anytime you come in this building and it's Ball State and IPFW, the nerves are a little high.
Both teams kind of feeling each other out, and that's another one that surprised you. Kind of makes Coach Paul shake his head a little bit. Goes long 5-4 Ball State. The good news is mistakes are kind of on both sides right now.
Right. Let's hope that they settle down and start serving aggressive.
That's Matt McCarthy serving it up for the Dons, and right there to put it away is Oliver Kook, the 6'6" freshman out of Hamburg, Germany. C.J. Macias, what will we see out of him tonight?
Well, he better have a good game. The Dons need him. They need his intensity, and plus he's got to pass well.
Hits the jump serve this time. Ball State in control, though. And a pretty good effort by Marici to dig it, but when you get a clean shot like that, it's tough. And back to a 6-5 lead for Ball State. Here are the Cards' keys to victory, as you point them out.
Keep us out of sync, and then serve tough, control our outsides, make it difficult for our outsides to score points. And so far, they've done that.
Ball State looking in control here.
Ooh.
And that is the big hitter from outside, Marcus Nwale, 6'7" freshman. They got a young team, a lot of young players on the floor, but they are talented.
I think what I'm seeing right now is IPFW is not really in the groove on their blocking, and we've got to make it more difficult for them to get that ball through.
Ball State able to handle it from Yost. And just a nice touch. The Dons save, a great save by Stewart, and out of the back row. How about that? C.J. Macias, boy, that's a good point.
That was nice. That's what you call, when they scoop that off the ground like that, that's what we call a pancake.
I wasn't sure he could get that. It was very nicely done. And who better to have in the back row than Macias on a point like that? 7-6, that'll be Oliver Kook to serve it for the Dons. This time the floater finds the back row. That's in play. We saw this last week when it actually got stuck in the net, but no such luck tonight for the Dons. 8-6, Ball State in control. Now if it gets stuck up there, they actually get a replay of the point and catch a break, but that was not the case tonight as it was last week.
Yeah, it
They're
depends
the
on
Mastodons' keys to victory as we set them up tonight.
Yeah, we gotta set up our outsides. We gotta get on our outsides have to get on a roll, and we've got to control them. We've got to get them out of system.
Opportunity here to get back to it. Oh, nice touch by Macias. Ball State handles it though. They go to the outside.
That's good.
Just a tough shot there by Yost, and you know you got to decide, do you get it in or you try and put one away, and he was really caught with little to do.
It looked like he was indecisive. He had made a decision to maybe hit it a little bit more aggressive, changed his mind, and normally bad things happen.
Visitors under the direction of Joe Walton in his 10th year. They've got a 9-6 lead. This time they go outside to Yost, and you give him that kind of look, and he's going to put it away. And Yost will go right from the big kill to the jump serve now with the Dons trailing 9-7. Good crowd on hand tonight. A lot of youngsters out here, a lot of alumni hoping to cheer on the Dons for a victory. Of course, Ball State just down I-69. They've got a pretty good contingent on hand as well. Oh, that's a pretty play.
Oh, off the fan.
The fan's in play. Here comes Macias.
Oh, nice shot.
And a great shot, catches the back row. And boy, what a dig for the Dons. They catch a break off the fan, and just a solid point.
Yeah.
9-8 now. Jason Yost will try and tie things up here in game number 1.
Oh,
and that is an ace.
He hammered that.
Right down the line. That'll get the bench up, and we're tied at 9. You've never seen before, the bench gets into the aces, and they got one there off the left hand of Jason Yost. Something tells me that corner's not going to be open this time.
Nope.
Another good serve. And if you haven't noticed, Mr. Todd Chamberlain, the 6'2" junior out of Louisville, he's got some power coming off the jump.
He does. He's got a nice vertical jump, and he gets up straight, and he hits straight down, and actually that went off of our middle blocker's head.
Ball State's only got one Indiana player, and he didn't make the trip tonight, so everybody outside of the Hoosier State tonight, and that's an Ulrich kill for the Dons, who tied up at 10. Of course, the Dons have one Fort Wayne player, and that's Nathaniel Berg. Back to serve again is Ulrich, trying to put the Dons in control, tied at 10. Oh, they got the block. Stewart was in position, but just went a little bit wide at 11-10 now. Good position. That's one of those you just want to get straight down, and he didn't miss by much.
Yeah, you got to close in on that ball and really direct it inside the court rather than outside.
Marcus Imwale to serve up the jump serve. And he serves it right into the net. It'll go back to the Dons, tied at 11. Oliver Kook back into the game for IPFW, and it'll be Josh Stewart, the big 6'8" senior from St. Mary's, Ontario, Canada, back to serve.
Let's see if he goes with that float serve again. He does, gets it over. Oh.
A jump ball at the net, Dons in control. And Ulrich tried it from the back, but it goes wide. It'll give control to the Dons, or back to Ball State, we should say.
You know, our blockers got to go up on that ball with two hands and push it over. Anytime you go up with one, it's just not a good thing, and the ball usually rolls off.
Yeah, you catch a break. You got a bad pass for Ball State, but they get away with this one. That's Chamberlain's got a tough jump serve as well. And they go short side. Kook gets it this time. We're tied at 12. Back and forth in game number 1, tied up at 12. And the sophomore Corey Stewart to serve it up.
Oh, doggone. Coach Ball is not happy about that error at all, and good reason to believe. You're doing a float serve, staying down. You got to put that ball in.
Well, we've seen a number of those tonight. Matt McCarthy with the jump serve for Ball State. Dons seem to be in pretty good shape. They'll go to Macias, and more than often than not, you're going to see that one go down just like that. Macias already, just early on, it's only 13 all, but it seems to be he's certainly much more of a factor than we saw last Friday night.
Yeah, he's hitting 750 with 3 kills already, so that's always good.
Gets off a good jump serve, nearly an ace out of the back row now. Stewart had a chance, but it goes into the crowd. Now 14-13, it'll go back over to Ball State. That's Ethan Pfeister now to serve it up, number 5 for the Cards. IPFW will go over to Ulrich, and off the double block, he gets it through, and that works just as well.
And when that ball comes off the block so close to the net, it's just hard for your defense to scoop that up. It'd be kind of nice to score a couple points here in our service and get a lead.
Kook with the floater. IPFW has a double block at the net, but Patrick Durbin, the only senior on the roster, is able to hit through that double block. 14 all, we're going to take a break in the action here. And we will stay here as first game is about midway through the point. 14 all is your score. IPFW off to a pretty intense start already. If you talk about intensity, coach comes over and certainly likes to talk to the setter often, and Corey Stewart in this case.
Well, you know, everything goes through your setter. You want to make sure that your setter understands what you want and what your game plan is, and maybe he's revisiting that game plan.
And the sponsor tonight, tonight's game sponsor, 816 Pint and Slice. They are located at 816 South Calhoun Street in Fort Wayne. For some fine pizza and drinks, it is 816 Pint and Slice. Right now it is 15-14. IPFW down by 1 in a pretty good contested first game here, back and forth both ways. Had some early mistakes early on from the service, but both teams seeming to find a little bit of a rhythm. What do you see so far early on for IPFW as you come out of this break?
Well, I think we're moving the ball around. It looks like we're setting our middles, which I think is good because that keeps your blockers honest. The middle blocker on the opponent's side has to stay and keep tracking. So I like what I've seen so far. We just have got to serve. If we're going to serve aggressive, you got to serve in a little bit better, and we're not doing that.
Here comes, big time kill, but right there is a pretty nice dig for Ball State. They'll go back the other way, but Ball State is not able to put it away. They'll go the other side to Yost, and he'll take that. Off the double block, Yost puts it away, and we're tied at 15.
The tooled Chamberlain off the block, nice swing.
And the 6'4" senior from San Diego, California, back to serve for the Dons, tied up at 15. He'll go with the jump serve. And that would be another, well, let's wait and see.
This is a free ball, so they should be able to get a kill.
Yes. Very nice. Josh Stewart puts it away, but clearly it was the serve of Jason Yost that set that one up.
Yeah. I was a little surprised the up official allowed that to come off of the backboard. Some officials will call that out.
Well, things that you would think would be out of play in this gym are not by the sheer velocity that they hit the ball with.
Oh, that was nice up.
It's going to be a back row for Macias, and he's certainly capable of that. A little tough with a double set. This time it's Ulrich.
Oh, got it up. Oh, no.
And just too many hits. Ball State did a good job. Not only did IPFW find some tough angles, when you got two black shirts at the net, it's tough. 16-all, the service goes back over to Ball State, the Cardinals, and J.D. Gasparovich, the freshman out of St. Louis, will serve it up. It's a very confident Ball State team. They've won 7 straight. And Jason Yost says, take that. Even though he's blocked, the Dons will take the point.
You know, and sometimes, Ryan, a team will serve short to try to take your middle out, and that's exactly what happened. Our middle had to take that ball, so he had to go right side or outside.
You see the players at the net. They're giving a signal. What do they say?
They're just saying, in most cases, hey, where the hitters are and what they're doing. Are they blocking this hitter or not blocking that hitter?
Almost like at the front of a football line, calling out the middle linebacker. 17-all, Ball State trying to break open with the lead here. IPFW certainly well within reach of taking game 1 here. They'll go outside, and tell you what, that is going to be pretty effective all night. We mentioned C.J. Macias, off to a great start already tonight.
Yeah, I think that's his 4th kill, sitting around 500. That's a good sign. He's got to play great defense and pass serve receive well also. And they're serving him, and
they'll come back over to Macias.
Oh, touch.
That is almost a facial right off his shoulder, and if you're going to want to take one, Macias is not the best guy to take one off the chest with. 18-all now to go back over to Josh Stewart serving up for the Dons. Likely would go with the floater. Good dig and a pretty good pass as well.
Oh, cut shot.
And still another chance for Macias. They'll go over to Yost. And this time Macias puts away. Sometime you got to be patient, and I think Artie Ball will be pleased with that.
You know, Macias got that through 3 blockers. All 3 blockers were up, and he found the hole.
Coach Ball with a quick message for his setter, Corey Stewart, at the net. Is once again, it's Stewart to serve things up. The block was there, but able to hit right through it is Big Todd Chamberlain, the junior, as we said, out of Kentucky. Well, Chamberlain's one guy we talked about. You got to keep him as limited as you can on those angles. $19-all game 1. Ball State in control of the serve. Pretty good opportunity here. They'll go over to Oliver Koop. Kind of throws the defense off a little bit.
You know, I don't know what set number Arnie calls that, but in girls volleyball, we call that a 3, and that has worked. That's the 2nd time that set's worked, I think, tonight. And then Ball State comes back with the same set.
Returning the favor is Matt McCarthy from Wheaton, Illinois. McCarthy, easily their tallest player out there on the floor right now. Stands in at 6'7", in fact, tallest on the roster, other than Ben Irwin, who's 6'8". Well, that's a pretty good serve right there. Not sure if he meant to do that, but he drops it just over the net. Ball State will take it, and they take a 21-20 lead in this one. IPFW has won 4 of the last 5 in this series, trying to keep that momentum going tonight at home. Both teams split last year. This time the jump serve tries to keep the Dons guessing. They go back over to Macias.
Yes.
And you had about 3 black shirts just watching that one, because it was about 50 miles an hour whipping past them.
And the blockers just could not get up and get set on that. They were running all over the place.
Crowd trying to get into it, tied at 21. We'll get the jump serve of Macias here. Crucial point in the game. And he hammers one. Little you can do. The Dons handle it, or the Cards handle it well, and Patrick Durbin, the senior on the roster, puts it away.
Patrick Durbin's got four kills now, and he's hitting about 571, and that's a pretty good percentage.
This time they'll pass over to Ulrich. Cards keep it in control, but IPFW have a pretty good opportunity here. And they'll take a point here. Well, you can try, give him credit for hustle. I'll tell you that.
He got over there. You know, I don't know if Coach Ball is having his setter set that outside set inside or not, if they saw something in the blocking schemes, but it seems like a lot of balls are a little bit inside, and they're cutting it on the other side of the blocker.
We're going to see senior Dan McNerney for the first time tonight. He'll come in to serve for the Dons. The serve on the substitution, tied up at 22-all. Oliver Kook getting some high fives. Pretty good serve from McNerney. Dons with an opportunity. They'll go outside. And this time a double block found Yost, and the Cards are able to put it away. 23-22. How pivotal a point might that be in this game?
Very good.
Don's a little trouble now.
Out.
Nice shot by Yost, but it's got to go inside of the, what do we call the?
Antenna.
The antenna.
Yes.
Inside of the antenna, that one did not. 24-22, Ball State with really the biggest lead in a while. We're going to take a break here at the Gates Center. We'll be back in game one.
On the hard-hitting, high-flying IPFW men's volleyball program each Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on College Access Television. Coach Arnie Ball and Coach Mark Franke bring you scores and highlights, talk about the matches, the competition, and introduce you to a player or special guest. It's the Arnie Ball Show, Thursdays at 7:30 p.m., Fridays at 6:30 p.m., and Saturdays at noon on College Access Television.
Gates Center, a big crowd on hand tonight. In fact, I look across from where we're seated and not many seats available, and that's exactly what you like to see for a game like this. How close is this game? We're at 24-22. That's the biggest lead we've seen all night so far.
And Coach Ball calls the timeout, and I talked a little bit with the setter. I'm sure they're going to come out with a set play. But, you know, anytime you have a set play, you're counting on that pass to be to your setter, and so you can run your offense.
Well, we talked about the double block they had on Yost, 24-22. In a game like this, it's certainly, when you get behind, it's hard to get back up.
Yep.
Big point here for the Dons. And there's Chamberlain. Nice block at the net. Boy, that's Stewart and Yost right up there, and that easily could have gone over their head, but pretty good rejection right there, and Yost will be trying to serve things up and tie the game.
Stewart just reached over there with his big paws and tapped that back in.
That's what you want to see coming out of a timeout.
Yes.
Yost with a jump serve, and boy, one fraction of a rotation, and he might catch a break there, and it goes over, but it goes down as a service error and back to Ball State. Didn't miss by much.
Yes. And you know, that's maybe what you might call a good miss. It was aggressive, and it was almost there. And here we go.
As opposed to that, which I would not call a good miss. Right back into the net is the serve there off of Billy Ebel. And back to the Dons now. Brock Ulrich will be to serve things up. 6'6", outside hitter for the Dons, trying to tie things up. 25-24 your score in game one. Good jump serve, Ball State in control. Chamberlain finds a pair of blockers, including Stewart.
Up. You know, as soon as that ball comes off the block, the blocker looks down. If you look down, you're in trouble, because if you're looking down, it's hitting the floor.
I think it was Coach Ball was upset there. They weren't able to find that one. A big point, 26-24 now. Boy, is that pretty to watch. Macias. It almost was like he did a double clutch in the air and decided to rip one down the right side.
Well, I don't think the set was in a very good position, and he was heading in hard and had to kind of back off a little bit.
Another service substitution. For the first time tonight, we see Ben Duckworth, the 6'5" freshman out of Missouri. Gets the jump serve in. And we talked about that man, Matt McCarthy at the net to send it right back.
You know, I think McCarthy's the leader in kills for the middles for Ball State, so I'm sure they talked about him in pre-games, but we got to control him a little bit better.
And coming out, Duckworth getting high fives from the coach and players as well. You come in, that's your job, you get the jump serve in, and they just weren't able to get the block. IPFW, pretty good opportunity here. They'll go outside to Macias. And you're not going to see that very often, but boy, they had a double. They were set up pretty well.
And PHEISTER had a little something to say after that block, so.
IPFW now in trouble in game one. It's 28-25 as they're trying to battle back in this one. We talked about, you know, a three-point lead is not that big, but in this type of format, it can be difficult to get back in.
You know, it's just when there's a point scored on every contact, 3 points is a lot at the end of the game. It's hard to come back from that. What IPFW's got to do, they got to break the serve, then they've got to get served, be aggressive, but be smart, and score some points.
We talked about the intensity. I mean, for the most part, it seems like it there. There was just a couple pivotal points in the mid-20s, and certainly they're well in this game, but we take a look at some of the replays here as IPFW has had a little trouble tonight with one of the better players, Matt McCarthy, there at the net, and then the jump serve here with the score 27-25, the last point. Here's Macias. Right there's the double block, and, you know, in some ways, Ethan PHEISTER just kind of stuck his hand out there, and he got lucky.
I think he did get lucky, but he let Macias know that he got lucky, and that usually lights a little fire under your outside hitters.
28-25, that'll be Chamberlain back to serve for Ball State. I got a fan on the floor, we're gonna wait for that.
Yeah, isn't that your son?
No, actually that's not. He will probably be on the floor before the night's over. 28-25 is the score as Ball State tries to finish this out. Big point here for the Dons.
Oh. Dang.
Well, they get a pretty good look at the front, and Coop can't put it away. A little indecision from the referees, but it's long, and that means 29-25, so the Dons faced with winning 5 straight points, so this one's over. That should make it 4 straight to get it back to tie. That's tough enough. That helps.
Oh, it does help.
29-26, but the problem is when you talk about it, yeah, they got the serve, but Corey Stewart now has to serve their Ball State team that will be firmly in control with an opportunity to finish out game one.
This is, you know, at this point, your blockers have got to step up. Set or dump.
And that will give game one to Ball State. The teams will switch benches. 30-26, Ball State takes game one. We will take a break here at the Gates Center for the rest of this action. Stay with us.
This is the training manual for a 747. And these are all the documents the average homeowner signs at closing. Now, no one climbs into the cockpit of a 747 without knowing this inside and out. On the other hand, most people don't even read these, even though they're making the biggest purchase of their lives. In all fairness, it's not easy reading. That's why the Mortgage Bankers Association made this, the Simple Facts. Something you can read and actually understand long before closing. It is not a sales tool. And because it was created by the Mortgage Bankers Association, it doesn't promote any single bank or type of mortgage. It's just designed to help you get the mortgage that makes the most sense for you. Get your copy at homeloanlearningcenter.com. That's homeloanlearningcenter.com. The Simple Facts. The name says it all.
I've gone away to a college where the class size is small. I've gone away to a college with a beautiful campus.
I've gone away to a college that cares about diversity.
I've gone away to a college where I get to live in my own apartment instead of living in a dorm room.
I've gone away to a college that really isn't that far away at all.
I go to IPFW.
IPFW.
I go to IPFW.
To find out more about college life at IPFW, go to our website. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
And welcome back to the Gates Center. 30-26, Ball State takes game one. It was a game that until the mid-20s, no team even had a 2-point lead, but often is the time in sports, and certainly volleyball, you get the key points. That's what Ball State did here. We talked about in the break a little bit. You talked about C.J. Macias, the kill leader, with 7. What jumps out to you?
Well, there's a couple things that jump out. Ball State as a team in the game one hit 433. We hit 316. We had 6 service errors, and they had 4. And then they had 4 blocks to our 2 blocks. We've got to turn that around. We've definitely got to have a better hitting percentage than them to win. Most times that's a big factor in winning a match. And then our service errors, you know, if we're going to serve an error, it better be an aggressive error. And some of our serves just weren't even aggressive in their nature as far as being an error.
See some of the fun here at the Gates Center. We talked about a big crowd on hand. Of course, what is a good volleyball match without a little sumo wrestling out there? And the crowd really enjoys it. They do a great job here of getting people involved. Certainly the action is enough to keep people excited, but it's fun during the timeouts as well. And be a lot more fun if IPFW can rebound. Let's keep in mind, last Friday, they lose the first game to Loyola, come back and play real solid in game number 2. I don't know if that is the outcome Arnie Ball wanted to see for game 1 after what we went through last week, but you know, they're playing a team that's ranked number 10 in the number 9 in the nation, really 8-1 poll, and they're on fire, and certainly a pretty high opponent coming in here tonight.
Right. Well, I think we'll see something right off the bat. First of all, are they going to continue to serve aggressive, and are they going to get their serves in? And then we'll see if our hitters are ready to go.
Hitting percentage jumps out at you a little bit. That graphic as Ball State has the lead in that one, and this time Jason Yost will serve things up to start game 2. Pretty deep pass, but Ball State able to get away with it. Ulrich goes, coach yelling inside out there, and Ball State's able to get the block, and they'll take a 1-0 lead. Back to service, Patrick Durbin, the senior for the Cards. Oh, nice touch, but Ball State able to get a kind of a jump ball.
Oh, yes.
Stewart wins it. Not a bad guy to have at the net for a jump ball either. Josh Stewart stands 6'8". Stewart definitely seems to be intense tonight. He's had, for the most part, made the best opportunity of the balls that have come his way. Ulrich back for the jump serve and gets a good hit on one.
That was an excellent serve, but then their outside hitter just cuts it inside.
Yeah, Chamberlain has got some serious leaps. There's no doubt about that. Joe Walton yelling nice set because he couldn't have fed his big hitter much better on that one. 2-1, Ball State in control. There's the little floater serve, and they're going to float it right back over to C.J. Macias, who has not had an uncontested kill for a while. They go back over, and that is a pretty big kill for Marcus and Wally, the 6'7" freshman. (3-1) Ball State. That'll be Chamberlain, or make it J.D. Gasparovich, the 6'7" freshman to serve for Ball State. He'll send the floater that barely, in fact, it's not going to make it. I think he knew the second he hit it, it wasn't quite going to make it. You know, if you're going to miss, you want to miss on a jump serve. It's certainly more impressive. And either way, it goes back over to the other side. IPFW down 3-2.
Well, whenever
Stewart will serve things up. Go ahead.
When you mix up your serves, you kind of get the team out of system a little bit just because they get used to passing the same serve.
Oh, good save. And Macias, early on in this game, you know, most of his 7 kills, I'd say, came in the first half of the game. And his last few hits, Ball State's been right there to greet him on the other side. How much of that has to do with the passing, though, or what he's facing at the net?
That's a lot. You've got to get that pass, and once you get that pass, that means if it's a good one, you've got all your options, and then the blockers for Ball State have to be a little bit more honest.
I tell you, Yost had to blast past 2 blockers. Awesome. Even then, it was a diving player at the back of the net, and that was Marcus and Wale, who almost came up with that. 4-3 now as Corey Stewart continues to serve for the Dons. He'll go with the floater. IPFW with a chance here. Ulrich.
I thought that was a little mishandled.
And again at the net. Boy, it's just a big, when you look at Matt McCarthy and he's front and center on you, a tough figure at 6'7", puts his hands in the air. I mean, you've got a tower, you know, a skyscraper at the net you're trying to hit over, and certainly a little chance there for the Dons. 5-3 now as Todd Chamberlain back to serve. One of the harder servers on, and that's exactly what the big serve will do as it comes right back, and Ethan Pheister's there for the put away.
Now that's what a bad pass will do for you. Score easy points for the opponent.
Chamberlain continues to serve, and boy, when he puts a hit on it. We've seen it twice in a row. Those won't go down as aces, but essentially they are. You know, teeing it up for their hitters on the other side. 7-3 quickly. If you're Coach Ball, you're a little concerned about the momentum in game two.
I think if they scored here, I think he's going to call a timeout, settle his team down, try to get this server out of rhythm maybe. But he doesn't have to. Oh, yes. Well,
he didn't miss by much, I'll tell you that.
Well, the lines judge called it in, and the up official overruled him.
Because I think it was going too fast to see it. But 7-4 IPFW. C.J. Macias will serve it back. Kind of a crucial series here for the Dons. Down 3 early in game 2. And Macias puts on a good one as well. Yes. And thank you very much.
And we hit it out. We get an overpass and we hit it out.
It's a shame because an uncontested overpass and Oliver Cook at the net. And boy, just about exactly the way it played out on the last point for Ball State. But instead, it's Ball State serving.
And that's out. Point off the block, that helps.
That'll be Stewart back for the Dons. He'll check in the front row, 8-5. IPFW looking to find their rhythm right now.
Well, let's see if Cook can redeem himself for that hit out of bounds.
Pretty good serve, but the Dons, that one's wide. 8-6, they'll take that. Ball State has not made many. Most of their errors have been the service variety. They'll take those. 8-6, that'll get Joe Walton, the coach out of Ball State, up. Of course, we said in his 10th year, so he's got a nice little rivalry going here with Coach Ball as well.
All right.
Yeah, a little frustration there off the hands of Jason Yost. He had a tough angle, tried to get it over, but again, we talked about a couple there, I believe, in the net, though, so IPFW keep it at 8-7. And we'll see the floater from Cook.
Oh, mishandled ball. Gives us a free ball. We got to handle this. Oh.
Oh, nice shot by Stewart, but what a dig. This time they'll go to Ulrich. A good dig by Ball State. They're still in business. And a great block at the net by Stewart. He keeps it in control. And Yost says, let me in this right now.
Oh, yeah.
And that is the loudest we've seen this crowd tonight. And many are on their feet. And, well, they should be after that series for the Dons. Maybe that's the kind of point that'll get you going. Suddenly the Dons, they come out flat in game 2. They're right back tied at 8-8.
Well, Cook's serve has really gotten us back in this. So, you know, he's redeeming himself for hitting that free ball out of bounds, and we just got to keep this rolling. We got this thing tied up now.
Well, sometimes a player like Cook, that may his caliber, that might do it. He knows he made a mistake, and he's certainly redeemed himself here up the net. Dons have good blocking up front, but a pretty good pass to take care of that. You know, it's funny, we talked about Cook or Cook, and sometimes when you come from Europe, you'll hear two different stories, but Cook is the official way, so I'll try and catch myself if I go back to the way it looks. IPFW trying to catch themselves now. They'll go back over to Yost. Boy, just a great save, but not quite enough. Diving effort from Ian Peckler, just right in front of us.
You know, but when you got guys hurrying like that to make a dig, it's got to make the coach happy.
9-9 here. Jason Yost back to serve for the Dons. And he gets a good one off. Double block at the net.
That's 4. That ball didn't make it over the net.
And so IPFW's got their first lead in game 2. Boy, we were looking at 7-3, so it's been a nice little rally here for the Dons, and Yost hopes to keep it going.
Out of bounds.
And that one's wide. So suddenly, Ball State now with some good opportunities. They've had some miss hits. That'll get Coach Joe Lawton off the bench, and he's seen enough. The Dons are on a roll in this one, up 11-9 in game number 2. That'll get the crowd on their feet. We will head to break. When we come back, the conclusion of game number 2, IPFW up 11-9.
Pizza! Pizza! Must eat. Wait, what is this? Capsicum annum? Agaricus bisporus? Allium cepa?
Can we eat this?
Peppers, mushrooms, and onions. Eat your pizza, man.
Honey.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
And here's a replay here. This is when we were tied at 9. The Dons go on to take 2 more in a row and just do it with good defense here. Stewart was up there at the net. And certainly when you get the double block, you have Stewart up there. You also have Corey, we said Stewart and, who was up there with Stewart? I guess it would be...
Outs.
Well, we had 2 up there. That's a key thing for the Dons. We had 2 at the net. 11-9. Arnie Ball doesn't care who they are as long as 2 are up there. 11-9 in second game, as certainly Jason Yost has done well. The crowd's gotten into this one a little bit in game number 2.
We just got to keep our momentum and play well.
Ooh. And that's a big kill. By the way, I was right when I just said Stewart. It was Stewart and Stewart that were in the net. 11-10, Ball State back in control now. I think better than 1 Stewart is 2 Stewarts at the net. IPFW in control. They'll send it over. This time to Yost. He gets a big serve off. Ball State able to keep it in control, but they're not going to do a whole lot with it as it goes long. And a little excitement over the Don side. We see C.J. Macias celebrating. Don's up 12-10, and Brock Ulrich continues to serve. Boy, there are not many seats left in this house tonight. And Ulrich about a foot long on the backside. Well, I tell you, these linesmen in the back, they get their workout.
They do.
Not only do they have tough calls, but these balls travel with a little velocity out there. 12-11, IPFW in control. They'll go with the floater, and they'll go for Macias. One more time, this time back over to Macias.
Go to middle, yes.
And Stewart puts it away, it comes our way, and the Dons back to their 2-point lead at 13-11.
I really kind of thought that in that series, the blockers for Ball State weren't ready for a middle, and just glad to see that we got it to him.
Stewart will float one over to Ball State as the Dons cling to a 2-point lead. Opportunity here, Macias puts it away. Dons are up 14-11. Boy, we've certainly seen Ball State's hitting percentage come down this game as well. That's one thing that's got to bring a smile to Arnie Ball's face. Stewart continues to serve, up 14-11 are the Dons in game number 2. Ball State won game number 1. And that is Todd Chamberlain. We've talked about his vertical leap.
He just, you know, he gets up there high and then he can move the ball around, and he is uses the block effectively.
You know, you notice Ball State, every player out on the floor, they've got the knee brace, and this time it shows with a little dig coming over. Ball State handles it. Talked about the knee pads, and I think that talks about their style of play. Boy, a good effort right there for Jason Yost. I think that sends a little message when they're out there. You know, this is a team that'll dive on the floor. There's no doubt about that. 14-13's our count. Ball State trying to tie things up now off the service with Marcus Imwale.
Nice pass.
Cook tried to send it over. Yost with it. Well, that's a tough enough angle, but when you're falling away from the net, that's nearly impossible.
It's, you know, we got to stop these unforced errors. We've got to get back in system and get back on the roll. We can't let Ball State get their courage back up.
And Wally continues to serve. We got a tie ball game now, 14-0. Boy, that one not even close.
I got some 12-year-olds on my 12s team that can serve a little bit better than that.
Yeah, that's, if we had a tennis net up there, that one might not have made it. 15-14 IPFW now halfway home in game number 2, but certainly with the team they're playing tonight, the 1-point lead's not going to get it done. Corey Stewart, they didn't miss by much, but it is long, and that'll give it back to Ball State. And unfortunately, that means Todd Chamberlain, because, boy, just getting back his serve could be a difficult challenge if he gets it where he wants to. And unfortunately, often the case, he does. And that's what happens. IPFW gets an opportunity, but certainly not the opportunity they want, with Ulrich hitting into a double block.
Oh, you just got to get that. Your serve receives got to pass a little bit better than they are. And unfortunately, Chamberlain went on a run the last time he had serve. Net.
A little bit of a break there because there's another tough serve, and the Dons will take that one into the net, our Ball State Cardinals, and 16-all. Dons will counter with their big jump server, and C.J. Macias has been the kill leader thus far into game 2. Crowd trying to get the Dons going on their feet.
Nice serve.
Oh, good save. Ulrich dinks it over. And right there's Oliver Cook. Cardinals trying to claim that he hit into the net, which he did. He just hit the ball into the net, and that is perfectly legal. 17-16 now, IPFW in control. Boy, you sense this is a big series right now. They're in control. Oh, there's the break they need. Unfortunately. And which way does it go? We're going to have a call in the net.
The outside hitter hit the ball into the antenna, so the call is out. IPFW's point.
18-16 now. Dons with a chance to open up a 3-point lead. Sense a little momentum change in game number 2 here as IPFW battles back. And great serve by C.J. Macias. That'll give an opportunity to pad that lead.
Yes.
And well done.
Hey, Ryan, the crowd's really getting into this now. We've got to keep this.
You can sense it.
Yeah.
And certainly Coach Joe Walton can sense it. He's going to take a timeout now. Suddenly, keep in mind, they were up 7-3. It has been all IPFW since that point. 19-16 is your score. We're going to take a break here at the Gates Center in game number 2.
Mom, Dad, you know we love kids, and I've made a decision that will totally change my life. Cameron's too. It's a huge responsibility, leading someone into, who knows, communication or science or math. That's what life's all about, right? Learning so you can pass on knowledge to younger minds. Dad, Mom, I want to be a teacher.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
19-16, welcome back to the Gates Center. Not quite the Gates Center we saw about 30 minutes ago in game number 1. The crowd was into it then. They were certainly getting more. So this is a crowd that they sense when a crucial part's happening in the game, and they've certainly seen it here. That little guy knows right there. 19-16, a lot of young fans. You know, you can't overplay just the atmosphere that's here. If you've never been out to a game, boy, this would be a great one to come to. Maybe the best one of the year here against Ball State. And things will get a little better here if the Dons can keep control in game number 2. C.J. Macias has found his rhythm a little bit.
Yes, let's hope he keeps that rhythm.
(19-16). Of course, you don't want to get too pumped up with the crowd going nuts, and Macias gets off a good serve, and the Dons got an opportunity. Ulrich, they may save this, but they're not going to be able to do much with it. Boy, Cook called for it at the net, but unfortunately, Ball State, that's a big block right there, because if IPFW gets that point, they are firmly in control of this one. 19-17. We'll see Jeff SCHMITZ for the first time to serve for Ball State. 19-17, Dons up in game number 2. Ball State won the first one 30-26. There you see the 6'1" sophomore with a big-time leap, and of course most of them have a pretty good vertical leap when you're playing at this level, as does that guy right there. Brock Ulrich had a pretty good night so far, one of the seniors on the Dons roster. 2017, Arnie Ball out to have a couple words with his setter, Corey Stewart. Cook will go with his patented floater. Oh, nice touch, but the Dons handle it. A little confusion up there.
Yep. Oh.
And the Dons will take that point as just kind of looked like Marcus and Wally was falling backwards.
Yeah.
It's okay if you're right at the net when you're 3 or 4 feet back. It makes for a difficult shot. 21-17, Cook still to serve.
And Cook went on a run the last time he served, so hope he can keep that going. Oh,
nice save.
That was.
We'll go back the other side this time.
Can't quite connect on that right side. Uh-oh.
Tough angle.
Yeah,
Ball State is there with the double block. Can they do it again? Jump ball at the net. Macias sends it back over. That'll give Ball State an opportunity. And you just got the sense that that was the third time that Patrick Durbin had a shot at it. They got the first two, not the third.
I think Coach Arnie Ball may have wanted an interference on that last set with the Ball State player going over the net a little too far, but up official shaked it off.
Supposed to get those calls at home. 21-18, They don't need this ball.
No.
That's the big left-hander, Yost. 22-18 now. IPFW in control. And Yost will get the opportunity to serve up his jump serve over the Cardinals, who trail game number 2 after winning game number 1. Yost puts a lot of height on that ball.
No. You know, the men's game is so powerful. When you mix up a tip and you change this, you just change the speed of the game, and your defense is just back ready for somebody to hammer it. And it just is a nice little opportunity to mix things up, throw the defense off a little bit.
Yeah, you were talking about some serious Division I athletes when these two teams get on the floor, and it's not just the star players. They have got some talent up and down the roster. There's Chamberlain, kind of a tough shot, but that shows his ability to hit things through the heart of the Dons defense. 22-20 now.
And Coach Ball takes the timeout.
Yeah, since this is a key stretch right here, 22-20 is certainly Ball State trying to claw back into it. When you look at game number 2, they've obviously got Macias more involved. They've got Yost more involved. What else have you seen?
Well, it looks like it's really been a game of runs. Ball State comes out, goes on a run, and we tie it up. Then we go on a mini run. Then Ball State comes back, and then we go on a mini run. So in that case, we've just got to keep our runs a little bit longer than Ball State's.
Here's the replay. They go to the outside, and you can just see, I mean, you had a bad angle, but you've got 2 blockers right in the front of the net. And this is our last point here at 22-19. Kind of a big point, and right there you talk about Chamberlain just being able to get up and over.
He gets it right in between our blockers' hands, and we've got to close that block up.
Sometimes it's not about power, it's about finesse. Some young Don fans there in the front row of this one. They've seen a good game in game number 2. IPFW trying to even this match up at 1, leading 22-20 in the race to 30 here in game number 2. Kind of like this Ball State team. They're scrappy. They certainly are on a roll. We talked about them winning 7 straight. They actually lead the all-time series 52-27, but IPFW has won 4 of the last 5, so lately they've owned this series. Little jump ball at the net, Stewart. And Yost has certainly caught fire here in game number 2, but Ball State in control. Out. You notice the white line, and certainly that shows the ability. You have to jump behind that, and he's still pretty good swing on that. But it's IPFW's point as the serve goes back to Brock Ulrich. Good jump serve. And this time Chamberlain tried to finesse it, but back to the Dons it goes, 24-20, and boy, the crowd gets a feel now. Suddenly the Dons are in real control of game number 2. Ulrich tries to make it a 5-point lead. Boy, he gets off a good serve.
That was a very good serve, very aggressive.
They'll give IPFW a great shot here. They'll go to Macias. Ball State handles it.
And a great block by Macias.
And Macias sends it right back the other way.
Oh, smokes.
25-20 now. Crowd sensing victory here in game number 2. Ball State going to try and slow things down a little bit with substitution. Team's not separated by more than about 60 miles or so. 25-20, Ulrich to serve. And this one's long, and then he'll give it back to Ball State. But at 25-21, IPFW still in great control of this one.
You know, anytime when you make a sub, you're out of timeouts. You make a sub when the other team's serving. You're trying to break momentum, and that's exactly what happens. You get the server out of rhythm.
And that is going to be a free shot at the net. Ball State, IPFW certainly did their shot there to keep things interesting. 25-22 now. Continuing to serve is Billy Ebel.
We definitely need a pass here.
Oh, just a great shot from Stewart. Looked like it was going to be a little long, could be a jump ball, he puts it away.
You know, it was a good time for a setter dump. I don't think he's dumped the ball tonight and really throws the defense off. And if you remember, Ball State's winning point was on a setter dump in the first game.
Back to Ben Duckworth. He came into game number 1, got off a good jump serve, trying to do the same right now at 26-22. And he serves up another good one. Good block at the net. And there's Stewart again, this time with the left hand.
Right over our heads.
That's about as solid as you're going to see one from Macias, who is now into double digits, I believe, on his night for the kills. 27-22.
Duckworth gets great serve, comes up with a dig, and then gets another dig and keeps this play alive.
Yeah, 3 for 3 on the night on his jump serves now. Boy, as Chamberlain said, my bad, but I tell you what, he had a great look at that one, and what a block at the net by the Dons. 28-22, and you can sense game number 2 is over. Now you're talking about momentum heading to game number 3. The Dons want to close this one out. Duckworth, another good jump serve. The Dons really playing tough at the net. They'll keep it with Yost. Ball State, pretty good chance. They'll go to Chamberlain. Once again, IPFW saves it. And Macias didn't have much opportunity, especially with the big 6'7" man waiting at the other side. But boy, it's been a good few points here for the Dons.
It's just been a fun match. The Dons just are playing really good in these last 10 points. And we got 2 more points to go.
28-23. Ball State in trouble here in game number 2. And Yost hits it off the double block. We've got our game point. The crowd's on their feet, looking to tie this one up at 1. We're going to see Dan McNerney in to serve for the game. Not too many fans still sitting down at this point. Some of the young fans up top, they haven't learned yet that it's game point, but I think by game number 3, they'll be there. 29-23 is your score. McNerney for the win. And Matt McCarthy delays it for the time being. We're at 29-24. Stewart back into the game, checking in for McNerney. And that one's long. IPFW takes game 2, 30-24. More importantly, they've got some momentum going here.
So hey, if you're out there watching this on TV and you want to stop by, there's still a lot of volleyball to play there,
This
Ryan.
best of 5 has suddenly become a best of 3. We're tied at 1. We'll take a break here at the Gates Center. 1 game apiece.
I guess unlike most kids, I work hard, I go to class, and I want a degree that's going to mean something. I had offers from other universities, but I wanted the best out of my college choice. I wanted a great education and the campus life to go with it. Student housing, Division I sports, I found it all right here at IPFW. Hey, this is my university, my life, so it's got to feel right. I'm really glad I chose IPFW. I love it here. Go to their website.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
What do triglycerides or trigs have to do to get noticed? Heart disease and stroke? Really? We should pay her more attention. Normal triglycerides are below 150. High triglycerides increase your risk of heart disease. And if you're a woman, that risk goes up even more. After standing in the shadows of good and bad cholesterol, triglyceride, also known as the forgotten fat, is ready to share the spotlight and the attention. Next time you have your cholesterol or blood fats tested, ask your doctor about the role triglycerides play in your heart health. Remember to ask your doctor about the good, the bad, and the forgotten fat. For more information on all of your blood fats, the good, the bad, and the forgotten, go to ForgottenFat.com. And remember, normal triglycerides are under 150.
This message brought to you by Sister to Sister, working together for healthy hearts.
Life is good, but with a master's degree from IPFW, it could be even better. You could land a promotion, earn more money, become a leader in your field. And IPFW makes it easy, with affordable tuition, night and weekend classes, and more than 20 graduate programs from business to education to public affairs and more. Become the master of your future. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne, your graduate university.
And there is the count on game number 1. Of course, Ball State took that, and IPFW impressively. Boy, they came out real flat at game number 2. Things didn't look good, and Artie Ball got exactly what he wanted, and that's a great comeback as they take game 2 going away at 30-24. Ryan Elijah with the coach, Ken Mitchell. And Coach, you saw a very different game even from the first half of game number 2 to the second. What'd you see?
Definitely. You know, in the second game, I just felt that we came out a little bit more intense. Obviously, I felt that we served much more aggressive. We passed well. That kept us in our offense, and then Ball State couldn't handle us. Again, you know, I'll reiterate, this second game was a game of runs, and a team would go on a small run. What happened, IPFW's runs were a little longer, and we won the game. And we finished the game well in a good run. I think those last 10 points, IPFW played very, very well.
Take a look at the fans here. Certainly they're catching their breath after what was a pretty exciting finish in game number 2, and IPFW got a lot out of C.J. Macias. He's leading right now with 9 kills, but it's been a team effort, and I think I'm more impressed with the defensive side, what they've been able to do, some of the scrappy play they've had when Chamberlain's gotten some good looks, and they've answered that, especially in game number 2.
You know, we've had our blocking really came around too. IPFW started getting more touches on the block or blocks, and that slowed the ball down and allowed our defense to dig that ball up, get it to our setter, and then get it in our offense quickly. And Ball State couldn't answer that. And then, you know, Ball State's one of their leading hitters, Chamberlain, kind of struggled there at the end.
Yeah, he did. He played so well in game number 1. Really, his serve, his jump serve, probably set things apart in game number 1 and game number 2. Now we're basically, you know, call it halftime. You got the team's 10-minute break. If you're in there, obviously Artie Ball was a librarian in terms of his knowledge of the game. You know, last game he was able to pull it out. Game 3 they played well. What do you think he switches up here?
I don't think he's going to switch up much. I think he's just going to focus on serving tough and playing great defense and trying to control their better hitters.
All right, that is the story right now. 1 game apiece, a critical game 3 coming up. We'll have the action for you coming up live here from the Gates Center. Stay with us.
That book was all right. You know, she continues to spill product at a rate of 3 per hour. Unit cost, say 60 cents. Factor in breakage, downtime, lost sales. You're looking at $2,400 a month. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
What's it like when you hear your calling? Will you remember where you were? Will you ignore it? Or will you listen? What if it calls you to go halfway around the world? To share your skills. To serve people you've never met. To do things you never thought you could. What will you do when you hear your calling? Peace Corps. Life is calling. How far will you go?
And IPFW off the heels of a very impressive 30-24 win. Keep in mind, this is a Ball State team really as hot as just about any team in the country, except for Penn State, who's not lost all year. IPFW, or Ball State, we should say, has won 7 straight. Ran into a little bit of a wall in game number 2, though, in IPFW.
Yeah, definitely, and we're going to, hopefully, Arnie Ball's just talk to him in the locker room about keeping that going. And as you see some of the play, nice serve there, and I'm thinking that we are going to get a...
You'll see a lot of these highlights. Now, those both go Ball State's way, but a lot of the plays you'll see just IPFW in great position defensively. This time it shows to gets the kill. He certainly has had a good, really game all around. But many times IPFW just playing in good position.
Well, Yotes is all tied for the lead in kills with 9 for the IPFW team, so he's having a very good game.
He's got the big left hand coming in. Of course, those are the early highlights. As we go on, you'll see a lot more defense from IPFW. That one goes down, but you know, as you watch some of these highlights, you'll notice the momentum continues to go. Here it's 2 guys at the net. Yet they don't get a block, but it goes long.
And whoa, and we're being attacked a little bit
we're
here.
Under fire here as we're about 2 minutes from getting underway in game number 3, and certainly IPFW's got the momentum in this one as they head to game number 3. You know, they have had a number of 5-game matches, and they're hoping this one doesn't go 5, but at this point, they'll just take a victory.
Well, I think, you know, that game 3 will be definitely a barometer of who's coming out with the more attitude, and let's just hope that IPFW continues with the way they left off in game 2. And you just got to control that serve and then control their hitters, and I think we'll be fine. We just did such a better job of blocking in that game, I felt, even though Ball State
it shows them at 7-3, but I would say certainly toward the latter part of the game, IPFW had control. The Cards are in control, 27-24 in kills. The hitting percentage has gone down for both teams as we played through game number 2.
Yeah, you look at those digs, though, you see 32 digs, and we led in that category, so that's good. That talks a little bit about our defense. And then you look at assists. We also led in assists. That means that our setter was setting up our hitters for a lot of kills, and that's a very good thing. Hitting percentage, we slipped ahead in hitting percentage now, which in the first game we were down almost, I think, close to 100 points. I'm not sure.
They're your kill leaders, and the one thing you like for IPFW, you got 2 guys right there at 9. It's kind of a 3-man attack right now, and Durbin leading the way with 8, actually. You know, we talked about Chamberlain, but he was pretty quiet. I think most of those 5 coming in the first game and a half.
Yeah, so, you've got your 2 outsides and a right side leading the kill statistics for IPFW, and that's a good thing because now we can slip in that middle a little bit easier, maybe when we need a point.
And so we get ready to go here on game number 3, and it's been interesting. Both games, Ball State's jumped in the lead, and you know, maybe we won game 2 to start the same way. Arnie Ball doesn't, but they came out flat, and you want to finish strong for sure. See if the Dons can start strong here in game number 3. Pivotal game. You don't want to have to be facing a Ball State team that you got to win 2 in a row against, even at home. Ball State into this game with an 8 and make it a 12-6 record. IPFW, of course, 8-6. Both teams battling the conference. Ball State is the leader right now at 5-1, and IPFW is 3-3.
Looks like we got some fans dressed up over there too.
Yeah, they make it tough. IPFW is in their corner now, but when the opposing team serves in their corner, you better be focused. Ball State will serve things to start off here in game number 3. These guys get into it if you've ever seen them in a game as well.
Oh,
I'm not sure that's the way they drew it up, but they'll take it. IPFW off the hands of Josh Stewart.
It wasn't pretty.
What do you call that shot?
I don't know. That's just a pooch shot of some sort.
Like
I don't
a
know.
knuckleball. IPFW will take it. We talked about Jason Yost having the hot hand. He'll serve up his jump serve. I'll do my best to jinx him there as that one goes into the net. 1-all apiece. You talk about the jump serve, though, and you're going to have those. You know, you're certainly going to find the net.
Well, if you serve aggressive, you're gonna take your errors, but you're looking for some aces.
Back the other way to Ulrich. Hits off the block. And a bit of a break there for Ball State. They find the back and they take a 2-1 lead.
And this is kind of how both matches started out. You know, trading points.
It's been a while since Ball State's gone 5 games, and as we said, IPFW would like to see this one just go forward. That's Stewart. He finds the back of the net, hits it past the defense, and we're tied at 2 as Brock Ulrich will take over the serve for IPFW. Bench looks on as Ulrich serves up the jump serve. Well played by Ball State, and when you get big Matt McCarthy, the 6'7" junior with a free swinging right arm, it's pretty tough to stop that at the net. Chamberlain back to serve. We talked about his jump serve. And definitely the worst one he's hit all night. This one goes long, and it'll go back over to IPFW with Stewart in control.
And you know, that really kind of, you know, when you have a very good server like him miss, that just really helps your team so much, taking that serve off.
That's a bit of sigh of relief. There's a jump ball at the net. And I would say IPFW won it, but back the point goes the other way. Yeah, when Chamberlain serves, I mean, it's a challenge just to get the ball over the net and get a good position, so you take a breather when you get one. 4-3 is the score now, and this is another big player for the Cards. Not quite the same jump serve, Matt McCarthy. Effective enough, though. There's big Jason Yost. He's one of the kill leaders, but this one, IPFW won it off their hand, but not going to get the call. That one's long.
The only good thing about McCarthy serving is that he's not in the front row.
Exactly. Keep him in the back row. We'll go to Macias. And he is up and over for his 10th kill of the night.
It's pretty hard to stop Macias with one blocker. They're going to have to get 2 on him. And the middle was very late getting over.
5-4, Stewart with the floater, and it floats about 9 inches too far. That'll be a service error back over to the Ball State Cardinals side. (6-4), game number 3. There's Macias again, just going up and over.
You know, the Ball State's been serving him and serve receive, trying to take him out of the hitting option, but he's done a good job passing and then going on for the hit.
And this time Macias puts it in the net, 7-5. Neither team really finding traction in this game. It's kind of been back and forth. Ball State in control right now at 7-5. That's Patrick Durbin. And that is Jason Yost, but a little too much on that one as it goes wide, 8-5 now. Just a miss hit, pretty good angle.
Yeah.
Floater coming back IPFW's way. And Ball State with an opportunity.
Ooh.
Waiting for it was J.D. Gasparovich, and he hammers it away. 9-5 getting to that point in the game where certainly it's a game of runs, but you want to answer this one a little bit. Ball State not dominant, but they were slowly pulling away. Of course, last game was about 7-8 to 3, and suddenly IPFW came storming back. 9 kills on the night for Patrick Durbin. That's a little above his average.
Ooh, off the block.
And we'll go back to IPFW.
Well, Cook went on a couple runs in game 2 for us with serve, so let's just, hopefully I didn't jinx him, but
yeah, that's right.
Let's hope that he can get us on a run, get this thing tied up. And I did jinx him.
Did jinx him. Yeah, he's had a pretty good service tonight, but it's frustrating. Few words from Artie Ball as he comes out. 10-6. A little frustration. You had that momentum of game number 2, and certainly it can be found again here, but it is not carried over to game number 3.
And that's not a good pass.
With a big opportunity here. And there's Chamberlain to put away. We may see a timeout pretty soon. 11-6. IPFW down now.
Yeah, you're talking a 5-point lead, and I would have to think that if they score here, Coach Ball is going to call that timeout.
I believe this would match the biggest lead of the night, but IPFW has no plans of that happening. But double block at the net, and we're at 12-6.
I think the timeout's coming.
Yeah, I think Coach was hoping they'd play their way through that one, but not the case. You know, 12-6. I want to remind you, tonight's game is brought to you, of course, by the game sponsors, 816 Pint and Slice, located at 816 South Calhoun Street in Fort Wayne for some fine pizza and some drinks as well. It's 816 Pint and Slice. It's certainly a frustrating start for game number 2, 12-6, but you know, it's a game of runs, and now IPFW needs to make theirs.
They definitely have to get some momentum on their side. They've got to serve aggressive, and you know, you can't. It's hard to make up 6 points, so they're going to just have to chip away at this.
Yeah, it's not like I think both teams came out in game number 3 here. There were some errors, but Ball State just made a couple key plays, and now they find themselves in the driver's seat in game number 3. And I was looking down their schedule. They've not played many 5-game matches at all. This is just a team that gets their business done early. The last one about a month ago on February the 8th when they went 5 games, a game they won against George Mason. So certainly they've done their work, and they've done it in pretty quick fashion.
You know, coming out of this timeout, I'm sure that Coach Ball set up some sort of play. Wanted to make sure that his team knows what's going on, knows the play, and feels real comfortable with it. And whenever you feel comfortable about a play, it gives you confidence.
I think the Dons need to answer right here, and that's a good way to do it. You sense, just looking at the team, they understand this is a crucial point of the game. Jason Young's to serve now. 12-7's the score, and that couldn't ask for any better response to coming out of that timeout. Yost with the serve. And a good block at the net. Unfortunately, sometimes not rewarded for the block. That one goes long off the hands of Stewart. 13-7. Ball State in control. Pretty good jump serve, but IPFW handles it. Boy, that's impressive. Coming from the back row is Macias. IPFW, pretty good opportunity here. Can't handle it. That'll send it the other way to Chamberlain, and he does hit it off the double block. Kind of a lost opportunity there. They had a pretty good opportunity.
You know, what really stands out right now is I'm looking at the monitor, and Ball State is hitting 778. That is incredible. We've got to slow this freight train down.
A jump ball, and IPFW may get away with this one. That is off the net. Will they go inside? No, they go outside to Ulrich. Double block, pretty good shot by Stewart, but Ball State in control back the other way. A good save, and out it goes. 15-7, so unfortunately, despite the timeout, the momentum continues here for the Cards, who, as we said, are hitting just about everything, nearly an .800 hitting percentage. Back to serve now is Marcus Mwale. And he puts, actually his jump serve didn't even get to the height of Matt McCarthy, so that's a good sign. But 15-8 is the score. IPFW is certainly facing a pretty good hole, but not an insurmountable hole in game number 3.
Well, you just got to chip away at it, and you got to stay a little aggressive on your serve, but that ball's got to be in.
15-8. Ulrich puts up a good serve, and right there is Stewart to hammer it home. Well, those are the kind of points that add up in a hurry. You get a few of those.
And it looks like our boy cheerleaders over there moved to the other side to put a little bit of pressure on Ball State.
Yeah, this is unlike basketball. You can get right to the side, you can harass the opponent, and certainly adds to part of the charisma here in the crowd. And that's Chamberlain. We've not called his number quite a bit tonight. You know, he came out on fire game number 1 and number 2. Certainly a guy you got to contend with. He has got some vertical leap. 16-9, speaking of Chamberlain. His last serve went long. Don's not as lucky this time. I tell you what, that didn't miss by much.
They called a touch.
17-9 is your score. And Chamberlain continues to serve. The crowd certainly has been quieted in game number 3. There's been not a lot to get into. That could change in a hurry with this team, though.
Touch.
And Yost with the big left hand. It's long, but Ball State pleading their case. Nobody touched it, but a black shirt did get a hand on it. And so back the other way goes Stewart to serve now at 17-10. Arnie Ball pacing the sidelines. Josh Stewart, 2 blocks, a little above his average. And a pretty tough opportunity there as it goes back to Ball State. A couple subs coming in for both squads now at 18-10. For the most part, IPFW is stuck with their main 7 or 8 core players in this one.
We just need to get our serve back and score 2 or 3 points each time to get back in this.
Ball State gets a great break at the net, but Macias is there to say it doesn't matter, I'm going to put it away. I like the way Macias is hitting the ball up the net if you can continue to feed him, and certainly the Dons could use a few more of those as Stewart's back to serve at 18-11.
Man, he has served that line a few times tonight and just barely missed.
They certainly had, he sized it up pretty well, just missed a little down the right side. 19-11, Don's looking for a little momentum here. They'll go to their big hitter, and he hits the antenna.
Ball State's serving Macias short, trying to take him out of the offense, and they did that time, so the ball had to come outside, and then we couldn't get it inside the antennas.
20-11, Ball State firmly in control here in game number 3, and they're going to have an so much for that opportunity. Right back come the Dons, and Cook can't handle it, and IPFW in trouble now. 21-11, clearly game 3 in the corner of Ball State right now as IPFW is trying to regroup, and that's a problem. They played so well at the end of game number 2. You had momentum, but then you go into that big 10-minute break, and things can change in a hurry.
Well, you know, IPFW just can't get frustrated. They've got to regroup and stay calm and just chip away at this thing. And
Yost through the double block, and Ball State another pretty good opportunity. And they'll hit it off the double block. 22-11 at this point, you know, it looks bleak in game number 3, but you got to start thinking about momentum here for game number 4.
Definitely, you want to build some sort of momentum and some sort of confidence in your play going into 4.
And that one's long, 23-11. We talk about an IPFW team that really, in some ways, is trying to build that momentum for the postseason. And find themselves a little bit. I know it's frustrating for Arnie Ball. He wanted a real intense effort tonight, and 23-11, Dons find themselves down in game number 3 here, trying to fight back. But they'll be facing 2 straight against Ball State. Boys, a nice dink at the net there by Macias. 23-12, he'll be back to serve. Macias waiting for Coach Joe Walton to leave the court over on the Ball State side. 23-12 is your score. Game number 3. Both teams have won a pair in this one. Or have won one, looking for a second. Jump serve into the net, 24-12. There's some very blank stares in the IPFW bench right now. I think game number 3 has been a 180 from game number 2. There's Jason Yost hitting through the block. That's one way to get going.
Yes.
24-13, we'll see Stewart checking back into the game, and for the first time tonight, we will also see Daryl Shank. I was impressed with Shank last week. He'll come in this situation as a server, but certainly played well, and the role now is get one in. Which, coming off the bench, is not always the easiest thing to do. Shank gets off a great jump serve. Ball State didn't have a great look, but Chamberlain hits it again. And they're going to go to Ulrich.
And
off the top of his fingertips, he'll nod his head, he'll take that. And it's 24-14. That'll give Shank another try.
Yeah. And right here is a couple points we're scoring, maybe building a little bit of confidence, and let's see what happens.
Another jump serve, puts it in the back row. And Ball State, boy, when they pass like that, they're tough to stop, and that's Gasparovich with the kill. They got an 11-point lead. Cook back into the game. Shank does a good job, gets some high fives after 2 jump serves, but the Dons find themselves down 25-14.
Ooh.
Jump serve, and that's going to go to IPFW, back over to Ball State, we should say. Well, when you got 2 teams in IPFW trying to find traction for their season here, Ball State's won 7 in a row. Mentally, what goes through their heads right now? I mean,
well, I think right now they're just a little bit down on themselves, and they probably just want to get out of this game and start over.
Well, Yost continues to be a pretty consistent weapon for the Dons. 26-15, I think you can write off game number 3 here, but you gotta, if you're IPFW, you need to find a little momentum, something to hang your hat on, because you're gonna have to win the next one, or Ball State's going home with a win. 12 kills on the night. Yost has had a very good night for the Dons.
And
they'll take that, 26-16.
I don't think that up official's called many of those tonight, so.
Yost to serve up another jump serve.
He hit that one.
Hammers that one. Ball State goes outside, a nice block. I believe that was Ulrich who got his hands on it. I know Stewart was up there as well.
I was watching Ulrich, and he just watching his hitter, picked up his hitter early and got up high.
So Yost continues to serve. IPFW getting a little life here, and boy, that's one that could go either way. You don't miss by more than a few inches, but that one goes back toward the Dons, and Ball State will serve up 27-17. Here's a look at that last point with, it was Ulrich who got his hand on it. Stewart was right there at the net as well. 27-17, that one is long, and back to IPFW it goes. That'll be Ulrich, who certainly played a good game up the net. Right now, though, the Dons looking for a little jump serve effort. Hammers it away, Ball State handles it. And we've seen that before, the quick pass up to Matt McCarthy, the big 6'7" junior.
Yeah, McCarthy's got 10 kills tonight. I believe he is second on Ball State.
Jump serve, IPFW in control. They will go to Macias. It's right back at him, but not inside the lines, and that counts just the same. 28-18. Stewart back to serve.
What do we got a little confusion here what's going on.
That's on the hitter.
I think they're saying that the ball came off the block and hit the IPFW hitter and then out of bounds, rather than off the block, out of bounds.
Actually, I think it's a pretty good call.
Yep.
Yeah. Happened right in front of us, but we as announcers are not obligated to point that out to the officials. We will point out that was long, and it'll go back to IPFW. Just a rare occurrence, and that when Macias hammered it, it just happened to come right back at him, and I believe it caught him about in the thigh. And, you know, it's almost like getting hit in baseball when you're out of, you know, outside the lines, and that's what happened to Macias. You know, not a crucial point at this point, 29-19. McNerney on to serve. IPFW clearly looking ahead to game 4, where they're going to have to answer the bell.
Yeah, but I think they have done what they wanted to do, and that's build a little bit minimum.
They played well in the last few minutes. It will go down, though, as a 30-19 victory, a most impressive win for Ball State in game number 3, which makes it 2-1. So IPFW is going to have to come back and answer it in game number 4. Stay with us. Outcome from game number 4 coming up here from the Gate Center.
Excellence lives here in northeastern Indiana. It's reflected in more than 200 nationally recognized degrees. It drives our Division I sports. It's alive in our campus life. Excellence has a name, IPFW. Around our campus, around the country, around the world. Excellence lives here. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Power's out, but your food safety plan is on. Don't open the fridge. Foods will be safe for up to 4 hours if the door stays closed. Keep the freezer shut too. If it's full, the food will stay frozen for about 2 days. When power returns, make sure freezer foods have ice crystals and check fridge foods with a food thermometer to make sure they're at 40 degrees or below. If not, or if there's any doubt, throw it out. Learn more at www.askkaren.gov or call the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Meat and Poultry Hotline at 1-888-MP Hotline.
Salam.
Jam.
Salam. Ewa.
Rita. Apa pa? Pa.
Mir. Shanti.
Yep, Sangyok di.
We all want the same thing.
Peace.
And Rotary clubs
Sola.
are making it happen.
Lucky.
Through international scholarships for young people to promote peace and understanding around the world. Rotary. Humanity in motion.
Get the inside set on the hard-hitting, high-flying IPFW men's volleyball program each Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on College Access Television. Coach Arnie Ball and Coach Mark Franke bring you scores and highlights, talk about the matches, the competition, and introduce you to a player or special guest. It's the Arnie Ball Show, Thursdays at 7:30 p.m., Fridays at 6:30 p.m., and Saturdays at noon on College Access Television.
Gate Center, you know, the smoke has just cleared here in game number 3 because Ball State just came out smoking in game number 3. We looked at some of those numbers. I mean, 583 for the hitting percentage. Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's very, very good. And, you know, IPFW hit 286, which isn't shabby, but they just could not control the offense of Ball State. And I'm sure Arnie Ball talked to his setter about set selection, talked to his blockers about blocking options, and you know, it all starts with playing great defense and serving well.
Yeah, Ball State clearly had everything rolling in game number 4. Aside from that game, it's been a very evenly played match. IPFW played very well and took game number 2.
Yes.
And you know, you come out here, you get a jump start in game 4, and you're in good shape. But the one thing they don't want to come out and do is let Ball State continue this roll that they found in game number 3.
Well, you don't want to make it easy for Ball State to score points, and that's making unforced errors. You know, you might as well roll the ball under the net and give it to them.
It felt more like Ball State had elevated their game, but IPFW is going to have to elevate theirs in game number 4. They'll start it with Stewart on the serve. Down 2 games to 1, which means it is a must-win for the Dons here at game number 4 at the Gates. Stewart serves it up. He'll go the floater. And McCarthy's been a force up there at the net. It's not always a smoke and kill, but he certainly is a savvy player up there, whether he's hitting or blocking.
Well, you know, he only has one attack error, and he's hitting .563. That's nice for a middle to be doing that.
There's Yost. He has been the go-to guy for the Dons, though the Dons have certainly had some other players factor in as well, but he's been pretty much most things he's hit recently have gone down. It's one apiece.
Now let's see if Stewart goes for that line again. No, he does the jump.
Well, Ball State not in great position. They'll send it back over, which will give IPFW a pretty good look at it. They'll go to Macias. And he's got a double block, but he hammers through it and gets the point for the Dons.
Well, he goes off the block into the antenna. And,
Macias leading the way with 15 kills for the Dons. And Stewart not at all happy with himself as that one goes into the net. It'll go back over to Chamberlain for Ball State.
Hey, sometimes in volleyball, you have to have a very short memory on plays like that. Get yourself collected and play great defense.
So let it go and come right back. It's a game of runs. IPFW could use one right here. They'll go to Macias. Oh, just a great touch. And Ball State not over to dig it. Good play there. You know, you look at a guy like Macias, he loves to hammer it home, but he took a little finesse there. 3-2, Dons off of the early lead here in game number 4. Macias hammers a pretty good block, or a pretty good jump serve.
We got a good touch on that ball, and now let's see if we can,
Ulrich got the big running start. It certainly is not an easy shot, and that one goes wide, which will give the serve back to McCarthy for Ball State. My jump serve gets a little bit easier when you're up there at 6-7. To the outside they go. IPFW handles it.
Oh, and that call.
And it's in. That's one of those that's hit so hard they had to, the officials had to look at themselves to make sure. But we talked about Yost. He's certainly been a solid weapon as it goes to 4-3. IPFW. Cook back to serve. Here comes the floater. And out of the back row comes Chamberlain. 4-4, back and forth we go here in game number 4. And a passing error, and Ball State will take the advantage of that one. Little you can do there if you send it over.
Yeah. You know, you just, I don't care what level of volleyball you play, the pass, serve receive pass has got to be good.
And boy, we've seen it twice in a row here for IPFW.
That's not good.
Able to save this one, but it will put Ball State with a pretty good opportunity. And it's an opportunity that number 8, Patrick Durbin, the senior, the only senior on the roster, puts away. So 6-4, not a concern, but certainly a place where IPFW needs to handle the run as Ball State has had a couple good looks in a row. We'll see McNerney come back in, and in this case, it's not to serve.
No.
His first action of the night, other than to serve, he served well, but do you sense that Arnie kind of was frustrated with those errors and with the new guy?
I think he just didn't like the options that he was set and maybe wants to change it up a little bit and see what happens.
6-4, McNerney will get an action right away, but this one's going to be a tough start as he's not able to get a hand on it. And we saw that again. Yost able to hit off the block, but I believe the same thing happened. (7-4), Ball State in control here in game number 4.
Oh my gosh. They got to play strong at the net.
Oh, a nice block. That looks wide, and that's what it holds up. Well, we talked about last game, Ball State stepping up the effort, but we've seen a number of errors here. Just in the first few minutes, IPFW only down 7-5. And they caught a break, a little scrappy play there to get that point back. Yost to serve, IPFW down 7-5. Gets off a good one into the back row. And that is Patrick Durbin elevating from the outside. They'll take that service there. Back come the Dons at 8-6, and Brock Ulrich to serve.
IPFW's got to take advantage of these opportunities Ball State's giving them with the errors. Let's go on a run here.
Be a good little point to rip off a few for the Dons and catch a break off the jump serve. And that's some serious heat coming out of the right side off Marcus Mwale. Ball State's got some weapons. There's a reason this team has won 7 games in a row, and they're certainly in contention and in the driver's seat in the conference.
Well, it looks like tonight they've got 2 players that are leading in kills, and everybody else is pretty much just even. So they're spreading that ball out. Beautiful hit.
Well, Yost continues to be a thorn in the Card's side. They'll try and get it back to him. This one may go to Macias, and it does.
And that could be out.
Long. Well, you just sense that the way those 2 outside, Macias and Yost, are hitting, that it wouldn't take much to get back into this one. You know, get a roll going, find a way to steal game number 4 here, and it's winner take all in game 5. But right now it's 9-7 as Stewart serves it up. IPFW on the downside of that score. Double block at the net, but Chamberlain's able to get up before it's able to get set up.
Looked like the right side blocker just drifted out a little bit too far and staying tight.
10-7 is our count. Cook sends it over. They got the double block.
Ooh.
Well, it's a shame because Cook and McNerney were there, but it's about 9 to 12 inches outside as the officials signaled the wrong way at first, but it is Ball State's ball. 11-7 is our count. Now you're kind of at that point of the game where Ball State's got to answer or IPFW has to answer the run. They've definitely done some good things on the other side of the net. Oh, it's a great shot from McNerney right there. Not much else he could have done.
Well, it was a good timing, too, because he didn't have a lot of options, and then he just tipped that thing back into zone 4.
There's McNerney, pretty effective serves, throws him off, but that's McCarthy there to handle it. 12-8 now the count. Ball State in control. Chamberlain has certainly been effective with his jump serve tonight. McNerney passes over and Ball State arguing this one, and it's going to go, I believe they gave that to the Don. Now they give it back to Ball State.
Well,
the initial call was long.
It was long, and then he switched it real fast, and I think he did the right decision.
13-8, it looked like it may have caught the back line. Ball State in control, Chamberlain the jump serve. McNerney will serve it up. He'll go this time over to Cook, and oh, what a point that turned out to be, but it's Ball State taking the point, and IPFW on the ropes here, down 14-8 in game number 4.
Yeah. I'd be surprised if Coach Ball doesn't call a timeout if they get a point here.
You get the sense he wants him to play through it, but I think if this continues, he's going to have to. They'll go to Macias. Boy, they put the block up big time, but this one goes wide, so 14-9. Macias hits through it, and he will be the one on the jump serve. Got to give Ball State credit. They've really taken this home crowd out of it.
They have.
I got to tell you, you really can't blame Patrick Durbin because he took a C.J. Macias jump serve right in the chest and then was set up for the for the kill attempt.
He didn't have much of a set to work with there.
No, I'm not sure he knew what hit him on that. But 14-10, Macias will try and serve up another one. That should be an opportunity for the Dons. And they'll be in control here. Let's see which way they go. McNerney over to Ulrich. Oh, that's a tough shot.
Dang.
Yost went for the kill. It's kind of a tough spinning shot. And we're going to take a break in the action here. Ball State up 15-10 here in game number 4. We're going to stay here as that kind of sums it up right there for Coach Ball as he talks to Dan McNerney, but what goes through his head right now? I think he's got to be a little frustrated.
He's definitely frustrated, but, you know, he's probably just trying to keep his setter calm right now. You know, they need this match, this game to stay in the match, and so Coach Ball knows, hey, I can't get my setter too upset. I just want to teach him something right here. I want to come out, I want to set a play up, and I want to run it effectively, and then get some momentum from there.
Keep in mind the latest Mastodon scores and stats are available on the World Wide Web at ScoMastodons.com. Check up on the teams, the players, and order your tickets as well for the official Mastodon Athletics website. 15-10 is our score you'd find on that web right now, and certainly it's a score that IPFW would like to see change right now because Ball State has really shown over the last game and a half why they've won 7 straight. They're one of the hotter teams in the country, and see what IPFW's got in the tank here. Wouldn't take much the way some of these guys are swinging right now. But they've got a very tough team to contend with. McCarthy serves it up. Speaking of a guy swinging well, there's Yost.
Oh, net call.
And so very quietly now, IPFW's cut it down to 4 at 15-11.
Well, you know, IPFW's got to find a way to get this crowd into it, too. And,
yeah, we've really lost them since about, you can understand midway through game number 3 when Ball State really pulled ahead. If you were with us for game number 2, it was raucous in here.
Oh.
I believe they've got Stewart in the net. 16-11 is our count. Ethan PHEISTER will continue to serve. He's a sophomore for Ball State. Boy, short serve. McNerney sends it over to Ulrich, and he's able to put it away.
Ball State is still hitting at a very high percentage this game, and that just means that we got to handle their offense a little bit better with our block.
And they'll get a chance to add to that right now, and they do.
They do.
As putting it away at the net is J.D. Gasparovich. Boy, it's easy to say get down the hitting percentage, but I mean, does it come down to blocking? Does it come down to, you know, the way they're executing as well?
Well, it can be a lot of things. Are we serving aggressive? And are we blocking well? Also, are they passing well?
Ball State trying to claim that hit the same player, but they aren't going to win that battle, and they're not going to win the point. Well, they are going to win the point because into the net. 18-12, that gets Ball State's coach off. He's cheering for his squad here, and IPFW trying to answer the run at 18-12. That's one way to do it.
And that's an opportunity for IPFW to get the momentum going.
Brock Ulrich back to serve at 18-13 now. He gets a good jump serve off.
Ooh.
And we'll go back the way of the Cards. Kind of the point in the game, you need a little spark. It's 19-13. IPFW looking to see where that will come from. Got a front row of Macias up there as well with Ulrich. And Yost puts it away. Oliver Cook back into the game for the Dons. And Stewart's back to serve. It's been an enjoyable rivalry to watch over the years, and we've talked about IPFW's really controlled it recently. Winners of 4 of the last 5, trying to make it 5 of 6 tonight, but they are in trouble here at game number 4. And there's Todd Chamberlain. 2014, Ball State in control right now. Into the game, this will be the first appearance for Steve Rogers. And quietly, we're starting to see a couple new faces now. We've seen McNerney stay in the game. Steve Rogers now in the game at 2014. Unlikely we will see Yost and Macias come out the way they're swinging. Well, there's nothing like coming in the game and 10 seconds later having one down. There's Steve Rogers up at the net. You know, I guess that's what you're looking for. You know, we saw it from Rogers last week. You want a little spark. It's not like the guys out there aren't getting it done, but you know, you only go to 30. You've only got so many points to get that spark. They handled the Chamberlain swing good. And they'll go to Macias, Ball State from the back row. McNerney goes to Macias again, and this time he puts it away.
And you never know when a new player comes in and gets a kill like that, maybe it did get this crowd going.
Absolutely.
And got his teammates all motivated.
Rogers plays well at the net. That's right where he's at right now is the teeth of the Dons defense. There he's part of that block. Boy, Ulrich had no shot at that one. That was a missile, 21-16. I believe that was Wally that put that away. It came out of there pretty quick. Chamberlain serving. And this time he missed serves. The Dons will take that break. That'll be Macias back to serve. So you get the two big guns back-to-back on the jump serve. IPFW down 21-17. He put something on that one.
Oh!
And that's what happens oftentimes.
Yeah. You know, aggressive serve, and now it looks like Ball State wants to talk it over.
Yeah, Joe Walton doesn't like what he's seen. It's 21-18. Suddenly, IPFW creeping back into this one. Crowd getting into it as well. The YMCA will help that. It's 21-18 here in game number 4. What do you see, Coach?
I just see that, hey, we've got a little bit of a run here. We've got a little bit of excitement on our side. The crowd's starting to get into it. I think coming out of this timeout is very crucial that we get a couple more kills and keep the crowd into it and keep our momentum going. If we can get this, if we can score 2 points here, bring it 20-22, and then a couple more points the next one, and then get this thing tied up, who knows what happens.
Yeah, and the way the rally serve goes, if you can win your serve every once in a while, that certainly makes a difference. Keep in mind, if you want to be part of the action, and right now I'm going to tell you the fans are getting back into it, Mastodon tickets, the place to go is gomastodons.com. You can also do it by the phone as well, 260-481-6000. By the way, it's a season-high 18 digs for BSU's Ian Peckler. Certainly that doesn't hurt when you've got that coming the other way.
Definitely not.
You know, and we're in game number 4.
Yes.
Dons would like to see that number go a little higher and force a 5th game. 21-18 is your score tonight. And we talked about a big point, and we're going to see a Graydon Ainsworth, I believe, the first time we've seen him tonight as well. So another new face out there for the Dons. We've got 3 relatively new faces this game. And 21-18, Macias will continue to serve. Well, I tell you what, it's a jump serve, and you can credit both of those points. Now, Ulrich does a great job of putting that away, but Macias, when the pressure's on, coming up with 2 big-time serves.
Let's just hope he can keep this on a roll and keep that aggression up and keep that ball in the court.
21-19, they'll look for 3 in a row. Oh, that was pretty deep, but they get away with it. Ooh. Oh. Ball State had an opportunity, but up and over goes Patrick Durbin, the senior, and IPSW is still in good shape because they control, you know, you're an advantage when you're not serving in this format, and they'll take the serve now at 22-19. But we've seen that live. I think Arnie Ball's got to be pleased with that here.
Definitely. And that gives your team a little bit more confidence, and let's see what happens on this serve receive.
I think the IPFW men got to him over there. Yeah, they'll yell at those servers. Of course, they can tune that out, but that one goes long. 22-20 is your score, and in staying in is Steve Rogers, the 6'6 senior. You know, a lot of this has started when Rogers came in. He's certainly been a part of that spark here in game number 4. Sends the floater over to Ball State. They've got a block. Oh, just a great effort.
Yes.
You're not going to see a better play than that.
Keep it up. Oh.
What an effort. And Stewart was at the net. Boy, this place would have gone berserk had that plate held on. And, you know, you can run all the way over as long as you hit it back the other way. And that's about as good a point as you're going to see.
It's got to come back the same path it went, and it did, and got this crowd up, and this crowd is still pretty excited. We got to get a stop here.
Cards with a shot, and boy, J.D. Gasparovich, we've not called his name a lot, but he has not missed many opportunities tonight. When he's had an opportunity, he's put it away.
And Ball State bench over here keeps yelling one at a time and defense.
Well, they're content to trade points right now. They've got a 24-20 lead. Artie Ball's got a bit of a poker face over there. You can. The shrugging of the shoulders was to Stewart as he came off. 24-20. We're going to take a break. The Dons in need of a run here in game number 4. Stay with us.
Do you have everything you need? Paper, pencils? We only ask that you do your best. And make you a snack.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Ball State coming out of the timeout. They lead at 24-20. It has been a very spirited last few minutes. As give IPFW a lot of credit. They've played tough. They're within one key point or two of getting right back in this match, but in this kind of format, there's just not much time left.
No, I just got a feeling that IPFW is going to come out of this this timeout, and it's going to be go time. They're gonna swing for the fences.
Well, you'd have to say this is a must-win point for the Dons. McNerney sets it up, and can't do any better than that. You know, and Stewart was frustrated because he didn't put that last one away, and that's how you come back. You come back, you put it away. Suddenly 24-21, and they'll give it to Jason Yost. And they could certainly use a good jump serve right here. Well, Yost went for that one. There's no question about that. Yeah, it's really a bad break because he hit a pretty good serve. It falls right into the hands of a waiting Ball State Cardinal, and to put it away there is Gasparovich.
Yeah. You know, you get an aggressive serve, you get a very bad pass, and then they dump the ball on you and score.
There's Yost. He's had a good night. Goes for the finesse, and that's a good choice. There's not much he can do from that angle, and puts it away 25-22 as Ulrich continues to serve. Ball State encouraging their guys to get on the floor. They do have the knee pads. There's Mr. Chamberlain from the outside. And he plays with some emotion.
We can't afford for that guy to get hot. We need a side out, and we need to come up with some points in a hurry.
Yeah, these teams will play again 2 weeks from tonight. They got the home-and-home series. Last year they split them. IPFW winning here and losing on the road against Ball State. And a little too early to think about revenge, though. The Dons would like to get that rematch in game number 5, not 2 weeks from now. 26-23, couple new faces back in for the Dons. That's been Duckworth back into the game. As he has often done tonight, he'll come in for a serve.
And the last time Duckworth was in, he did some nice things. So let's hope he can get us on a roll.
26-23. And that one's long, 26-24. You talk about the format. If you can steal a serve here and there.
And if we can get this tied up, and then you always have a chance to win. You want to put yourself, after 20 points, you want to put yourself in a position to win the match.
Duckworth gets off a good serve, and oh, good dig opportunity here for the Dons.
Oh, it's down. Oh.
Pass to Macias. And just didn't have much opportunity there. Well, we've got some controversy at the net. IPFW pleading their case.
And he touched it, it was out. Hey. It never went inside the antenna.
26-24, CJ.
It never went inside the antenna, it went over me.
I don't
so as soon as he touched the ball, it was out.
If it went over you, then it had to go outside.
Exactly, that's my point. That was the third hit.
He saved IPFW within pulling within one.
Well, this gave Arnie Ball a little bit of time to talk to his setter too, so he gets to set up a play with the discussion with the official going on with his captain.
Well, they need it because at this point at 27-24, there is very little room for error for the home team tonight. But when the other team makes the error, that's okay.
That's right.
27-25, and that'll bring up McNerney will stay in to serve. 6'5" senior. 27-25, you certainly could use a good one here from McNerney. Oh, good save. That'll give opportunity for Macias. And they'll take that, 27-26. So quickly, 1 point can turn around, and now IPFW is within reach.
And now Joel Walton's talking to his setter, trying to set something up.
Such a big point there. And if they can steal one here, they will tie the game for the first time since early in this game 4.
Mishandled ball.
IPFW in control now. Which way will they go? They'll go to Macias. Ball stayed with the block.
Tight.
Not a great pass.
Yeah.
And right there is the guy that started this rally, Steve Rogers. We're tied at 27. Joe Walton has seen enough. He wants a timeout. This crowd is back into it at 27 all.
Wow. This is fun stuff. Hey, you know, it all starts with aggressive serve and being confident in what's going on. The new kids coming in and really sparked things and started making some smart decisions. Coach Ball's got to be happy.
We're going to get a replay coming up here as this game has changed dramatically for the Dons. And just had a note pass my way. The Peckler is now the first player in the conference this season to reach 20 digs, so he's having himself quite a night. But, you know, right now I think he would take one more point because we are at a free-for-all at 27 all as IPFW. Boy, you got to credit, I got to tell you, Steve Rogers comes in and really makes a difference. Here's the point. Rogers trying to decide which side to go to. They go to Macias. Ball State does a nice job of handling the serve. Then IPFW just gets a great effort there from Macias to keep things in play. And there's the guy we're talking about, Steve Rogers.
You know, and Steve Rogers really, what was nice, he hits around that block. He doesn't hit directly into it. And this crowd is
back. Woo! Take a listen to that. And it's the man of the hour, Steve Rogers, to serve it. Chamberlain got a whack at it, but the Dons handle it. And Macias went for the home run. Tough angle, 28-27. Great job of digging. Chamberlain got a lot of velocity on that, and he'll be back to serve now. Now you got a big point. You know, he's certainly maybe their most dangerous server. 28-27.
And our cheer boys are on him pretty hard.
He gets in a nice one. Well, it's a nice pass by Macias, but Ball State's in control. Oh. Well, now the Dons are going to have to put together back-to-back. and they'll take a timeout at 29-27. Some good effort on that point, but it still goes back the way of Ball State as they will try and get one more point and get out of here. 29-27, the crowd's certainly into this one. Now I guess it's 1 point at a time. It's survival at this point.
Yeah, and I think, you know, what you got to look at, the Ball State setter is front row, so he's capable of dumping. And if he dumped on the last point in game one. And so you've got to handle him. You've got to take care of the ball. And let's just get a kill right off this serve, right off the bat, and get our server back. I'm not sure who the next server is in our rotation, but he's going to have to be serving under a little pressure if he does come back.
I think no matter where this turns out, you've got to be really pleased, I would think, if you're Arnie Ball, by the direction of the second half of game number 4. They've been in great shape. They've 1 or 2 breaks here. They could have pulled this out and still could. They'll just have to put in back-to-back points now. A tough order, but certainly not without question.
And I think our next server would be Macias if
that's a guy that can rattle off a few in a row. Definitely. Unfortunately, Chamberlain's got the ball right now for Ball State trying to serve out the match. McNerney will go to Macias. And the Cards have an opportunity.
IPFW fans are a little upset on that last set because it was pretty ugly. They wanted to mishandle.
30-27 is your final score in game number 4. The Cards take it. We'll be back to wrap things up from the Gates Center here coming up live.
Pizza! Pizza! I must eat. Wait, what is this? Capsicum annum? Agaricus bisporus? Allium cepa?
Can we eat this?
Peppers, mushrooms, and onions. Eat your pizza, man.
Funny.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
You might be surprised to know the biggest dangers your pet faces are everyday dangers, like drinking from puddles, being boarded, squirrels in the park, and fleas and ticks. Being a pet is risky business. That's why it's important for every pet to receive a risk assessment and wellness exam twice a year. A risk assessment from your veterinary professionals helps create a unique risk profile for your dog or cat. Your veterinarian can then develop a disease protection plan that's right for your pet and the disease threats in your area. Best of all, twice-a-year exams help your veterinarian detect, treat, or prevent health problems before they become serious. So reduce the risks. Contact your veterinarian today for your pet's wellness exam, because being a pet is risky business. A message from the American Veterinary Medical Association and your local veterinarian.
Parents, there's something you can do to protect your kids from drugs and alcohol. Combine ground beef with egg, tomato sauce, breadcrumbs, and spices. Bake in an oven-safe pan at 350 for 50 minutes. Serve hot.
This is Jamie Lee Curtis. Children who eat dinner with their families are less likely to smoke, drink, or use drugs. So, have dinner together every day.
Delicious.
A message from CASA, the National Center on Addiction and Substance Abuse at Columbia University.
And welcome back to the Gates Center. That is a wrap-up of how the action went down. Ball State taking the first game. IPFW rolled to victory in game number 2, and after a little bit of a stumble in game 3, we saw really a great finish in game 4. IPFW pushing them all the way, but it is Ball State winning with a 3-1 victory tonight. It's certainly an up-and-down match. I think if you're IPFW, you got to be pleased with the way the 4th game went, but it is Ball State leaving with an 8th straight win.
Yeah, I think I know Arnie Ball, and he's never pleased with a loss, but some people came off the bench and made some great plays, got the team back into it, got the crowd back into it, just didn't have enough gas to get it done.
Yeah, we certainly saw some gritty play. We talked about it a lot when Steve Rogers came in the game, and there were a number of players that came in and really played solid. McNerney came in and really turned things around when the Dons had a few passing errors there, and Ball State showed why they're one of the better teams in the country. If you're IPFW, you got Ohio State coming up tomorrow night. What do you take from this?
Well, you got to, I think first, Coach Ball's got to decide which setter he's going to go with, and then decide, hey, how are we going to attack Ohio State? We've got some plays going on here, and I think the one thing that we definitely have to do a little bit better tomorrow is blocking. And we actually served pretty good, I thought, in Game 4. Our hitting percentage.
Served very well in Game 4.
Yeah, our hitting percentage was 300, but Ball State's was 422, and they were just on fire.
This is a team in 2 weeks. These two teams will meet 2 weeks from tonight in Ball State, this time in Muncie. But you get ready for Ohio State tonight. IPFW falling to 8-7. Now a losing record in the conference at 3-4. Certainly that's a disappointment as well. But you sense this is a team that's really still searching for themselves right now. And they've made some strides, but Coach Ball has been through some ups and downs in many, many seasons, and I think he knows that this team is still trying to find itself right now.
And the thing is, when this team does get its identity, understand what they need to do to be successful, and I think they need a little bit more leadership. They're dangerous. They are very dangerous. They have the offensive players to get the job done. They've got the defense. They serve aggressive. They've just got to put the whole package together and make it work.
Yeah. So the Dons go down in 4. Of course, we talked about tomorrow night. They will take on Ohio State right here at the Gates Center at 7 o'clock. Certainly, if you're looking for some activity, that is the place to be tomorrow night, as IPFW will try and end that streak. We look at some numbers here. The kills, hard to tell by the numbers. IPFW obviously coming out on top there, but the hitting percentage was something that really was in Ball State's favor most of the night.
Yeah, and Ball State, obviously, look at that, 11-4 on blocks. I really feel that IPFW has got to do a lot better job of blocking. And when you do a good job of blocking, you get inside of hitters' heads, and hitters try to do things that they're not normally doing. And it also helps your defense, keeps your defense in check. And so I think that's one thing that Coach Ball will talk about for tomorrow night. And we'll see what happens tomorrow night.
You saw 47 digs there for Ball State. Well, 20 of those were off the hands of Ian Peckler. He becomes the first player in the conference this season to record 20, so certainly he had a big night as well. We talk about the defense for Ball State as we get the stats handed to us, and what you'd read on those stats is Durbin leading the way, but the kill leader for the night was Macias with 20, and pretty good attack. I think Macias and Yost, those are the two guns you expect, and they had solid nights.
Yes, they did have solid nights. The one thing that I look at is I look at some of the hitting percentages for Ball State, and Ball State's, their top hitters were hitting 524, 429, 310, 300. And when you've got your top hitters hitting that good of a percentage, it is tough to win. Our top hitter tonight was Josh Stewart at 570, and then the next best was J.C. Macias at 317. And pretty much after that, it's not pretty sight.
Yeah, and you're going to certainly face a talented Cardinal squad, but they're all talented in this conference.
Yes.
Arnie Ball will be the first to tell you that. One of the great traditions here at IPFW is the players, win or lose, will get together and sign autographs. They're getting ready to do that. There they sit, and that's the great thing. Win or lose, they're out there. Certainly they're disappointed. The fans will get their autographs as well. But that is going to wrap things up from the Gates Center. IPFW losing to Ball State 3-1. As we said, they'll meet 2 weeks from tonight. And certainly tomorrow night, IPFW getting ready to bounce back against Ohio State. I'm Ryan Elijah for the coach, Ken Mitchell as well. Enjoyed it?
Yeah, enjoy it, and I'll be back tomorrow night. And I hope more people can come out and watch this game.
Can't cram many more in this building, but certainly they'd like to get a win. Thanks for joining us here from the Gates Center on CATV. We'll see you next time.